The fierce battle for the city of Artyomovsk, also known as Bakhmut, continues as the head of the Wagner Group says Russian forces have taken control over the eastern part of the key city. He added the Russian army now has the most modern military capabilities and that taking control over the city will allow Russian forces to advance further into the Donbass.
The world has not yet encountered the Russian army being so well trained and equipped, with units that have not yet entered the battle, which have a multitude of modern weapons and intelligence capabilities. Perfectly prepared, they are waiting in the wings to make an entrance after Wagner's hands are untied after the capture of Bakhmut. I want to address Zaluzhny and Zelensky. I am grateful that you have decided to fight in Bakhmut. We ask you to take the elderly and children out of Bakhmut and send normal combat-ready units.
Amid territorial gains by Russian forces, even NATO Chief Stoltenberg has hinted that the city could fall in the next few days. That's as Kiev stated it plans to defend the city until the end, despite a bleak picture for Ukrainian forces.
3 apartment block buildings around me. They were Ukraine's first line of defense in the southern districts of the city of Bakhmut or Artyomovsk. Among the Wagner fighters, they got nicknamed as the Three Arcs. Basically, they provided perfect cover for their foes, and well, the battle for this particular neighborhood, well, it was very difficult.
You can hardly walk the streets here. Mortar shells whir overhead and erupt a few blocks away. An occasional stray bullet whistles and smacks into a brick wall, an overwhelming aria of death in which Wagner plays the main part.
It was hard to push the enemy out of here. Look at the embrasures on the houses. The enemy was ready for our attack. We had to keep our wits about us. They're clever, removing bricks to make positions for snipers and machine gunners. You can't take them with regular ammunition. We had to use artillery to smoke them out. This is how the enemy artillery targets us. There was a house here. Now there is nothing.
Informally, these fighters are known as musicians, courtesy the company name. They are often the first to meet the full force of new NATO-supplied equipment. Kiev's thirst for their blood is unmatched.
What you see here is somewhat a novelty on the Donbass front. These are American Claymore mines that have been, well, they're quite legendary among those who play video games. Here, they are very real and they pose a very real threat.
Last week, Wagner's strike teams kicked Kiev troops out of their positions at a local dam. As we approach the new front line, Ukraine spares no ammunition to batter the foe. No caliber is too large.
So the dam behind us is the forwardmost and the most avant-garde position of the Wagner troops here in the southern districts of Bakhmut. Basically across the river in the red building, there's already a reconnaissance and surveillance point of the Ukrainian troops.
By checking the crates, we know who produced the mines for our opponent's mortar. These boxes were clearly produced in Ukraine. See the labels? All of them are green. These ones are made in the Czech Republic. Somebody else makes the one in these boxes, maybe the Americans. The whole European Union works for them. And you can see the proof here. Here is the dam. You can see what's left of it. Over there in that red 2-story house is the enemy observation point.
When Kiev forces chose to hole up in the city, civilians woke up to a new reality. Now they were unwelcome guests in their own homes. Mortars, rockets and guns to launch them were spawned in their backyards as an eviction notice.
All road junctions and intersections in Bakhmut, even minor ones like here, they are fenced off by barbed wire by the Ukrainian forces. It clearly shows the sort of resistance the Wagner company has to overcome, and well, that the Ukrainian forces have really turned the city into a fortress.
Overcoming heavy opposition inevitably comes at a cost. Musicians showcase the price the Ukrainian side had to pay here.
Those wounded here died because they couldn't evacuate them, like this one, for example. There were about 8 enemy combatants here. A hangar is not a suitable shelter. You can see where the roof caved in. It was a direct hit. Those who could ran away. The strikes moved further down the road, but these 2 guys couldn't get away. Somewhere there is a third one, buried under the rubble. They couldn't reach their comrades. They left them here. Now they're being eaten by dogs.
Wagner troops might be just past the overture to their Bakhmut symphony. There's nary a doubt among them, though, they'll be the ones to strike the final victorious chord. Amir Gazhdanov reporting from the Donbass.